have given you a chance against North Lonnie, but you were right in it for basically the entire match. How did you rate that performance?
Yeah, look, it was a really good performance. We spoke about pre-game about building our brand for that game, and sort of, I suppose, mate, we sort of were talking about being in round one off the bye and really setting the tone for the next 3 or 4 weeks, and I thought we did that extremely well. Obviously, there's some areas of our game that we need to tidy up, but we think that it's going to be a slow burn for the first 10 weeks, and we'll improve those areas. But I thought as I said after the game, our effort and intent for the contest was really good, and it's something that I've been pleased with for the first month. The the Lauderdale game down there was a bit of a grind, and we came over the top late, and then North Hobart were really good for 3 quarters, and to finish off that game in the last quarter was outstanding.
North Launceston was spoken about coming into this season as almost being invincible. Did you show them up a little bit and show some of their vulnerabilities?
Oh, I don't think any team's invincible. They're obviously extremely good. When they move the ball forward, they get through your press. They always have a shot on goal and quite dangerous and hard. I think they're hard to hold up for 4 quarters. They probably got on top of us throughout the second quarter. Our press broke down a little bit, but I thought for the other 3 quarters that it was a pretty even game. I thought the pressure around the ball, for an in-season match was pretty good. It was almost like a finals game, I thought. So, look, some of their guys may have been still carrying a bit of sickness. Don't think they're invincible, but they are an extremely good team. They still have over 30 scoring shots, I think. So, we've got some work to do, but it shows we're heading in the right direction.
Another big test this week, mate. How do you approach then with stars all over the ground?
You probably have to worry about what you need to do first. Obviously, we'll have some key matchups and things we'll identify where we need to close them down. Obviously got an extremely dangerous forward line. Their stoppage work is really, really good as well. So, we need to probably make sure we get our matchups right in defence, and probably try and nullify their influence around the ball. If we can do that and get the ball out into space and shift their defence, I think we've got a really good opportunity to win the game.
How many flathead did the Baileys catch, and do you get them back this week?
Get them back, yeah, they got back. Well-deserved week off. So I don't think they got any flathead. Maybe some Murray cod. Yeah, so.
Were you annoyed about that?
No, not really. We knew about it for ages, to tell you the honest truth. We knew pretty much the end of last year. I actually booked it when the roster was released on the bye, and then the roster got changed 2 times, and we couldn't sort of work it around the bye. So I think obviously disappointing to miss that type of game, but it is what it is. But we did know a long time in advance they're 2 massive ends for us. Ryan's stepped back up to senior footy pretty well, TSL, and Jason's obviously probably the premier defender in the competition. So those 2 are massive ins for us.
How do you balance and manage the matchups for their forward line? I'm assuming Jason gets the job on Thorpe, but then if you put too much attention to him, you got Sonny Whiting, Kelly Mansell. How difficult?
Yeah. You probably have, you might have 1 or 2 matchups, and then the rest you sort of just mix and match. And I suppose our defenders have got their strengths and weaknesses, and you try and nullify that and allow them to make a decision. Everyone says that it's probably pressure on the ball carrier up the ground that makes the defender's job easier. So I did touch on before that I think their midfield's really, really good when he can test the ball on stoppage. So if we can sort of break even there and get dirty ball inside 50, so to speak, I think our defenders will handle it. They've been pretty good the first few weeks.
Did you prepare for Sam Logan? We haven't seen him this year. Do you have any intel?
I don't know. Joby Harper as well. I'm not too sure what their team's going to look like, and I think Joby probably spent some time forward coming back from injury as well. So we'll just have to wait and see 4 p.m. today what their team looks like. Obviously they've got I suppose they've got 4 or 5, 6 guys that can go up forward and are quite damaging. They're all probably a little bit different, so they're quite challenging to match up on. So we'll just have a look to see what their squad looks like and make some decisions around the selection table from there.
What about your own squad, mate? How's that going to change?
Well, the Baileys will come in. Brady Jones' ankle isn't quite right, so he'll have the weekend off, and Neil got a week suspension, so those 2 definitely out. The Baileys definitely in. And we'll probably look to reshuffle our forward line a little bit. We just don't think we're quite getting enough out of there in terms of holding the ball inside 50 and creating turnover. That probably is to do with, one, our ball use and our options going inside 50. So we'll probably tinker with our forward line a little bit this week and see if we can get a better result there. Speedy, Speedy's, to be honest, he's probably another 2 or 3 weeks away. So he's progressing, but we're just taking him slow. He's obviously over 30 now. He's a very important player to us. So he's probably another 2 or 3 weeks away. Same with Ryan Edmondson. He's probably another 6. Keegan Wiley should play next week. Pretty confident that he'll play next week. He's touch and go this week, but we'll probably give him the weekend off.
You said pre-season you hope you'd be the best team in the south this year. What are your thoughts on your start? Do you think you will be still?
They've obviously started extremely well, haven't they? You know, they've got a really strong list at the moment with no injury. You know, they've played 3 games in 11 days and done well, and they've touched up a couple of teams as well. So they've started the year extremely well. Look, we think we're going pretty well as well. So I suppose the next 10 weeks will give us the answer to who's the best team in the south. Probably need to worry about the north too, I reckon. So here's what it is.
Hard is it keeping the boys up after another thumping?
Oh look, yeah, it's easy to look at the scoreboard, but I think we just pick out certain aspects of the game that we did well, and obviously aspects of where there's opportunity. Glenorchy, you know, fantastic team and got a lot of players, and I think our young players enjoy that because they learn from the best. So playing against your Webbs, your Motts, the Bowdens and that, you just learn so much. And every week's an opportunity. Again, North Launceston this week, a lot of great players on their side, and we just welcome the opportunity to play against the best in the TSL.
I know it's early in the season, but are you noticing some of your young guys starting to learn and glean things off the more experienced teams and players in the competition?
Oh, 100%. I've said to Bear, like, for us, it's about, we've got a lot of puzzle pieces we've got to put together, and throughout the year they'll start to come together. There's a lot of players in our side that haven't experienced, you know, this level of footy before, even from the training aspect. So we're just trying to do little bits of training, those little puzzle pieces together, and you'll see by the back half of the year, once we start putting those pieces together, we've showed glimpses this year, but I think as they learn and they understand each other and play together a little bit more, some of the younger boys like the Cliffords and the Collins that have been probably, and the Reeves that have been really outstanding, you know, 16, 17-year-old kids, are really going to shine through at the end of the year.
Is it right you had Liam Jones at training the other night?
Yeah.
How was that for the boys' morale?
Oh, look, it's fantastic. He was down in Tassie, so he flicked Bear a message and said, can I come have a run? He had to do his 5K, so he came, and just having that a bit of experience at training and that as well, it's always fantastic to have him along.
North Launceston this weekend, mate. What's the message to the young and inexperienced group coming up against the flag favourites and the reigning premiers?
Oh, look, again, it's just that opportunity to play against the best. Obviously with Couchy thrown as well, so it's a great time for him to come back, isn't it? So Couch in there, you know, your Whitfords, you know, obviously Cox Goodyears, your Bennetts, your Birds, I mean, you know, your Pontings, the Foons, you know, they've got a lot of quality players, and again, you know, we'll look at the film, you know, we'll look at how they structure. We'll do a few run with roles this week, more so just so our boys can probably learn off those players and what it takes to play at TSL level. Because we know aspirations that, you know, where we're sitting at the moment. We know where we are. We're developing this year, but we've got a great core of good players. We'll miss our leader this week, unfortunately. So Hugh obviously had that nasty incident on Friday night, so he'll miss, which just presents another opportunity for somebody else and for the younger boys to step up again this week.
How do you strike the balance between playing positive and negative footy, I suppose, against the North Launceston? Do you go all out and have a crack at winning the game, or do you sort of try and call a loss?
We're trying to steer away from just like dropping players continuously behind the ball, because with a young group, they're not going to learn anything, to be honest. You could do that and try and keep the score at, you know, under 50 points or under 30 points, so you could drop as many players in back. But if we want our players to learn and develop, you know, they're not going to do it that way. So we'll try and play some really good one-on-one hard footy. And if we get beaten by a better side, we get beaten by a better side.